our next speaker is from the newly resurgent youth and student CND movement. Please welcome Mark Soames. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you. I want to start by talking about the most recent government spending review. Back in November, this spending review proposed that the government should move ahead with a scheme to freeze the repayment threshold on student loans at £21,000 until April 2021, rather than sticking to their original pledge that the threshold should move upwards in line with inflation, just like the interest on our repayments does. It means that repayments will start at a lower point relative to earnings, scarcely above London living wage. This is a retrospective change, a unilateral change to a contract imposed on students already paying £9,000 a year, which would be completely unacceptable in any other circumstances. More recently, we faced the news last month that the government are going ahead with plans to scrap maintenance grants that help 500,000 of the poorest students through university and to replace them with yet more loans. And shamefully, this was done by using a statutory instrument to put it through a legislation committee rather than letting it stand up to parliamentary scrutiny. These cuts to maintenance grants will leave students from the lowest income families £12,500 deeper in debt, on top of the average £40,000 of debt they're already leaving university with. And in other areas of education, last autumn's spending review announced that student nurses' bursaries will be scrapped, and a further leak last month suggested that they'd be doing the same for social work bursaries. But why am I talking about cuts to education at an anti-nuclear demonstration? The fact is that nothing ever happens in isolation. While the government claims that there's not enough money to fund education, to help the poorest students, to help bring us more nurses and social workers, there is inevitably enough money to fund a new weapon of mass destruction. A weapon designed for, and that can only be used for, indiscriminate killing of innocents and civilians. A weapon that it would be illegal to build under the Non-Proliferation Treaty, and that it would be against international law to ever use. It's an anachronistic weapon designed for the Cold War and a superpower, when we're no longer in a Cold War and we're no longer a superpower. It's the equivalent of walking into a room with a loaded gun. It's the ultimate overpriced, immoral delusion of grandeur. It's unethical, unusable, unjustifiable, and we don't want it. Thank you.
Thanks very much indeed, Mark. And as you might expect, if you look at the breakdowns of the opinion polls against Trident replacement and against nuclear weapons, the young people, the younger generation are overwhelmingly opposed to Trident. So the good sense is coming from the younger generation.